Right, Terry O'Reilly.
He's a tough hockey player.
He can play both ways. If you want to go out and run and hit, he'll do that. If you want to go out and work and skate, he can do that. He's not a great skater, but when he first came in, he didn't skate well at all. But for practices, he worked after practice. He came out early before practice, and he's improved his skating 100%. He's had somewhat of a bad year for Terry O'Reilly, but his spirit and his heart, it's always in the game every single time he steps on that ice.
The elbowing at 16:09 on O'Reilly. Third power play opportunity for the North Stars. They cashed in on one of their other two. Minnesota leads at 3-1. 3 minutes, 41 seconds left to play now in the first period. Giles at the center line. Look out, he lost it. Foster couldn't handle it. Now they got a 2-on-1. Onto the wing. Beaupre, the shot, and the rebound, and it's up over the crossbar. Foster had a wide open net, and he'll never see an opportunity like that again. He'll dream about that later tonight. Ciccarelli takes an elbow from Foster as he moves it on the wing. Kristoff has it. He'll bring it up. It's poke-checked away. Roberts has it. Poke-checked as he comes to the blue line. Brad Clark looks for help. Dumps it out the length of the ring. Maxwell behind the goal. Look out, he almost lost control. Up comes Bobby Smith. Cuts right as he brings it in. He's a great puck handler.
Oh, he's so clever with the puck.
No sooner do you say that, he falls down. Maxwell to Bobby Smith. Tries to drop pass and loses it. 3-on-2. Remember, the Bruins short-handed. Middleton, who can pump it, makes the move left to the slot. All the way to the boards to get control and drops it back wisely to kill time. Park dumps it back in. Beaupre makes the play. 38 seconds to go in the North Star power play. Steve Payne whistles to the right wing. They look for some help.
Bruins doing a good job of killing off the North Stars power plays. They've had more chances than the North Stars have. What they got to do now is get them 5-on-5.
20 seconds in the power play. McAdams centers. Here comes Young. Left wing to Payne. Payne has had magic in his stick. Goes to McAdams to the corner. He'll set the play up for the power play. Out to Hartsburg. Takes his time. Hits his man in the slot. Payne. And it's cleared to center ice. Payne was cutting through to set up the screen, and he caught that shot on his back. Hartsburg leads it back out on the wing. Palmer drops it off, and the play is whistled offside at the Boston blue line, and will face it off. 1:43 to play in the first period, 3-1 in favor of Minnesota. And there's Rick Middleton, whom you'll be hearing and seeing more of in just a couple of minutes, as he will be Jim West's intermission guest coming up in the first intermission. Cashman to the boards. He's being chased all the way by Ken-Eric Anderson. Dumped across on the wing. Crowder brings it over. Nailed to the boards hard. In the corner, Palmer whips it around the boards. Out to the point. Dick Redmond is there to say hi. And he pumps it in the slot, broken up and cleared out. It's 2-on-2 as Palmer comes charging up the wing. Makes the move on O'Connell. His drop pass is stolen and brought back by Casper. Leads to Crowder, poke checked away. Puck still alive in the North Star zone. Casper goes in, it's slapped around the board. Palmer can't get there. O'Connell from the right point, and it's cleared to center ring. Approaching the 1-minute mark as O'Connell gets his lumber on the puck. O'Connell owns it, less than a minute to play. Crowder tied up by Broughton. Anderson tied up. Cashman goes in to get it. 3-1, Minnesota. North Stars trailed 1-0, have 3 unanswered goals to take the lead in the first period. Puck slapped around the boards. Gets by Cashman. O'Connell from the point, scooped up by Beaupre, and will face it off in the Minnesota zone. Don Beaupre, who is certainly one of the leading candidates in the National Hockey League for Rookie of the Year. Played in the All-Star game in Los Angeles this year in the NHL. What a tremendous sign-on campaign for that youngster. He came along at the right time for Minnesota. They were in desperate need of another goaltender. They had, for the last 2 years, been searching around for the right combination. Now apparently feel they got it. Park moves it out to the point. The shot from there, batted wide. Rebound, score! O'Reilly under the crossbar at 19:29. Let's watch it again. All the way to the point. It's pulled out the Park 22. Over to the left point where the shot is batted down. O'Reilly picks it up. Ray Bork from the left point 7 will get the assist along with Park, and O'Reilly pumps it in. 19-29. A very, very important goal for Boston as they get on the board just before the intermission. Bork and Park have assist on the goal. Breakaway. Here he comes, McNabb, taken down, and he doesn't get the shot away. And there is a penalty, and there will be a penalty shot. A penalty shot is being indicated by Bruce Hood. A very rare commodity, as McNabb got a clean breakaway, and he was hooked down from behind. Never got the shot away. We'll watch it again. The rule is very clear. If the breakaway player is pulled down from behind and does not, underline that, does not get his shot, the rule is he will be awarded a penalty shot. And Bruce Hood, generally regarded as maybe the best referee in the National Hockey League, has been very decisive. And Peter McNabb will get a penalty shot with 16 seconds left in the first period. McNabb can tie the game. 3-2, Minnesota. Larry, a fan is sitting here at Boston Garden. It'll be all alone. Peter McNabb on the rookie, Don Beaupre, and you see there. And this youngster has not faced this shot in the National Hockey League. Here he comes. McNabb on Beaupre. He makes the save as he shot it right into Beaupre. And now the Minnesota team comes on to congratulate rookie goaltender Don Beaupre. Peter McNabb, and you see there, really made no fake on Beaupre. He came straight on. Watch it again at a great angle here. McNabb, who can do anything he pleases now. It's one-on-one. Beaupre to cut down the angle. Makes no deke at all. Tries to beat him, but got the puck up. He apparently was going to try to beat him through the leg pads, but hit him on the sweater. And Don Beaupre has won the battle, and it's 3-2 Minnesota. Park at the point to O'Reilly on the board, as now the clock is ticking down. 10, 9, 8. Payne rips it the length of the ice. Off the glass, played by Vachon to the board. Marcotte with the puck. 1 second. The horn sounds, and that's the end of the first period. An exciting period of hockey from the Boston Garden. Minnesota 3 and Boston 2. We have seen it all. We have seen fights. We have seen the power play. Last night. Then McAdam made it 3-1 at 9:32 from Payne and Young. And then it was 3-2 O'Reilly at 19:29. Put Boston back on the board. And it's 3-2. That's our hockey game right now as we get the second period underway. North Stars in their own zone. Let's see what kind of conversation Jerry Cheevers might have had with his Boston Bruins in the intermission as we have the icing call to bring it back. Ray Bork, the youngster who was the Rookie of the Year in the NHL a year ago and has played a very aggressive game here tonight. And Mike Ruzioni, I have to believe that Jerry Cheevers was talking about the lack of aggressiveness of his Boston Bruins in the first period.
I think he just might have told him to go out there and play the second and third period the way you finished that second, with that aggressiveness and that motivation that they had towards the end of that period. That's what they got to do.
It's a brand new hockey game right now because the Bruins only trailed by 1. They had trailed by 2, but a goal at 19:29 of the first period by O'Reilly may tend to be a big one. Oh, and in front they fan. McNabb's shot was broken up. O'Reilly is checked. Park pumps it to the corner. Marcotte behind the goal, centers it away. The shot, score! McNabb has tied the game at 3.
Well, he got back for the one he missed earlier. And, you know, it's a funny kind of shot. I think it just sort of trickled under Beaupre up under his arm, under his blocker, because McNabb really didn't get that much on it. But that just goes to show the type of hockey player Peter McNabb is. Here's a look at it here. And Hartsburg tries to clear it. Doesn't really get a shot here. And then Brad Park keeps it in deep. Puck comes behind the net. There's McNabb, and he just got a piece of it that hit Beaupre's his arm, I think, and then sort of went in. We had a tough angle at it there, but that shows the kind of hockey player Peter McNabb is. He misses a penalty shot, and he comes back on his first shot in the next period and scores.
Well, the man who made that play go was Mark Kopp from behind the net. He really set it up beautifully. McNabb has picked up his third goal in his 2 games of playoff action thus far. He has been the big offensive gun for the Bruins thus far in the playoffs. Game is tied at 3. It's cleared to the blue line and kept in. Shot is wide. Cashman picks it up at the goal line. Centers it through the slot to the board. It's back to the point. O'Connell there. His shot is broken up on the board. Some pretty heavy hitting going on. As Keith Crowder is nailed, they tie it up, and now we've got some wrestling going on. There were 2 fights in the first period, resulting in 5-minute majors. And now we've got it all over again, and Jack Carlson is at it again. He and Keith Crowder are going at it. Crowder for the Bruins. Both their helmets have come off. Carlson, who's been on the penalty box bench for 5 minutes for fisticuffs already in the game, is now on top of Crowder. And the ugliest job in sports is about to occur. The 2 linesmen have to pull them apart.
You know, so many times the linesmen get hit with straight punches just by trying to get in there and break it up. But there really wasn't much to get that fight started. All it was 2 guys in the corner fighting for the puck. I don't know what led tempers to flare there.
All right, with 18:35 to play in the second period, and the game tied, Minnesota 3, Boston 3. You're watching NHL playoff hockey on the USA Network. Carlson and Crowder get 5 minutes for fighting. 1:25 into the second period. Carlson's second major in the game for fighting. Thus his reputation. You have evidence here this evening.
Yes.
Shot is broken up wide to the corner off the stick of Milbury. It's around behind the North Stars goal. Pumped up to the far point. They try to keep it alive. McCrimmon couldn't get the shot away. North Stars bring it up 3-on-2. The shot broken up in front. Kristoff tried to go for the rebound. Milbury made a nice play defensively for Boston. Foster dumps it around the boards. McCrimmon clears it up on the wing. Sent it away for Jonathan. Couldn't get a stick on the puck. Freddie Barrett skates it down for the North Stars. Clears it back out of the zone. McCrimmon. His pass is errant. And the play is whistled offside at the Minnesota blue line. 17:57 left to play. Second period. The game is tied at 3. One thing is certain, Mike. Both these teams have proven they came to play.
Well, no question, you know. You think the North Stars would have been happy with that victory last night and said, well, we got the home ice back, but they came in here ready to go. They took it to him a little. There's a look at Steve Kristoff, who missed quite a bit of this year with a broken collarbone, but yet he still scored 26 goals in 57 games. But, you know, talking about the game a little there, the Bruins came out to the latter part of that first period and decided to play the hockey that we know the Boston Bruins can play. And this is going to be a very interesting finish, because the Bruins aren't going to sit back right now. They sat back a lot in that first period, but now they're starting to play. Icing infraction brings it back to the North Star zone for a draw. You get a good look down the Boston bench. You know, one thing about the North Stars, the playoff experience of a year ago has tremendous value this year, where they went so far, upsetting the Montreal Canadiens. They played an incredibly aggressive playoff, far better than anyone expected. And I don't think they were at all pressured or in awe of being in the playoffs this year. Oh, no, not at all. They know what to expect of themselves, and they've probably set very, very high standards this year.
North Stars bring it up and in. Oh, loose puck in front, a one-hander. There's a penalty coming up directly in front of the Boston goal. Tim Young was being held, and he had one arm behind him, couldn't get 2 hands on the stick. And Bruce Hood goes back to the scorer's table, indicates hooking against Brad Park. And so we are going to have another power play opportunity for the Minnesota North Stars. Well, Brad Park goes off for hooking.
I don't think Brad had much of a choice there. Young went in and had him beat. Brad, the only way to stop him was to hook him.
Live for the Boston Garden, you're watching NHL playoff hockey on the USA Network. Ryan Maxwell on your screen has netted one to give the North Stars a lead, and exuberant Glenn Sonmore on the Minnesota bench will pick up the action for you and show you it happen. The puck from behind the goal is moved around the boards. cleared by McAdam all the way out to the point. There's Maxwell's shot. It staggers Vachon off his shoulder, slips in front, and it's in the net and out, and it is now a 4-3 Minnesota lead, 2 minutes and 49 seconds into the second period.
Looked like the puck might have been deflected there, but I think they're going to give the goal to Maxwell, but I don't wonder if Vachon had trouble picking that puck up.
All the way back in the Minnesota zone. O'Reilly out to the point. From there, the shot. Batted loose and wide. O'Reilly takes his man out. Loose puck on the corner board. It's dug out and clear to center rink. Aaron Anderson brings it up. He overskates the puck at center rink. Brought up and in by Bobby Smith. He's checked as he brings it over the blue line. Delay penalty coming up against Boston. Anderson up and in over the right point, down the board. He's checked and goes down. And the puck's still alive in the possession of the North Stars. There's the whistle from Bruce Hood. And we will have the penalty being indicated by referee Bruce Hood. It will be against the Minnesota North Stars. With the score, Minnesota 4 and Boston 3. You're watching NHL playoff hockey on the USA Network. Well, more penalties being handed out by Bruce Hood. This game is going to have to be audited. There's no doubt about it. Bring your pocket calculator.
But, you know, a lot of the penalties haven't really been, to me, logical penalties. There's Don Marcotte. I guess he's got a slashing penalty there, and I mean, I could see if it's a penalty where it leads to stopping a goal of some sort, like maybe Brad Park's penalty there, that hooking penalty. He stopped Young from going in all alone. This is Don Marcotte shaking his head, wondering if he deserved the penalty. Maybe referee Hood is letting things get out of hand. He's trying to call them too tight. You never know, but there have been a lot of penalties called in this game, and not too many real out-and-out, you know, smart penalties, I guess is the way to say it.
4-3 Minnesota. They have the power play advantage. They can do some damage here. Brian Maxwell has the puck, center rink. He tallied the last score for Minnesota to put them on top 4-3. Ray Bork whips it around the board. It's cleared by Lalonde to the blue line. Picked up by Foster, challenged by Hartsburg. They'll wrestle on the board. Payne goes in to dig it out also. It's in the Boston zone, and we'll face it off there. 16:04 remaining, second period. 1:37 left in the Minnesota power play, and the North Stars are on top by the score of 4-3. Well, other games being played tonight. Flyers are leading 2-1 over Quebec in playoff action. Edmonton 1-0 over Montreal. Vancouver trailing 2-1 to Buffalo. Other playoff games being played around the league tonight. North Stars will have to clear. Hartsburg being challenged by Foster, who muscles him around. Loose puck at the blue line. Park goes down. And the puck is whipped the length of the ice, and the North Stars, with 1:16 to go in the power play, will start in their own end. Crowd has really come to life for their Bruins, but the Bruins have had their problems. Puck is dumped in. O'Connell behind the goal, pulls it around the near side, and he'll bring it out. O'Connell has a 2-on-1 with Payne helping. Nice move by O'Connell. McAdam ties him up from behind.
Good job by Al McAdam. Oh, they're going to call him for a penalty. Well, I think they're going to... I thought it was a good job by Al McAdam coming back and back-checking, but it's not going to be a penalty on him. It's going to be on Steve Payne, I believe, for interference. But McAdam did a good... Here's a look here. O'Connell makes a real nice move. Watch this. He fakes the shot and gets Hartsburg down. Then he comes across that. They're going to call Payne for interfering with Forbes. Foster. Dave Forbes, a former Bruin. But they're going to call him for interfering with Dwight Foster. McAdam did a fine job of coming back and picking up O'Connell, but Payne got a little too carried away and interfered with Foster coming in.
So Payne is in the penalty box, keeping Jack Carlson company. Each team is a man short now. But when the Boston penalty on Marcotte expires, the Bruins will get a short power play. North Stars will bring it up. Littell doing a good job keeping the pressure on. Up comes Bobby Smith. Gets the shot. Turned out by Vachon. Ciccarelli is nailed as he moves it to the point. Freddie Barrett keeps it in. His shot is broken up. And Middleton goes for the puck at the red line. Drops it out to Littell. He'll bring it up. Littell, right circle, backhand shot, turned out by Beaupre. Centering pass, the shot again. Again, the save by Beaupre. And the North Stars do a nice job clearing. Left to right, the North Stars with Bobby Smith, and there's an offside as Brad Park does a very good job taking a man in ahead to create the offside. 8 seconds left in the penalty on Marcotte. 1:15 left in the penalty on Payne, and the Bruins are about to have the power play.
So look at Mike O'Connell from Boston. Mike's originally from Boston, where he played some hockey in the summer there, and they got him via Chicago for Al Secourt. He's done nothing but a super job for Boston. What he's done for the Bruins is give him that right-handed shooting defenseman that they need, especially on the power play. And the Bruins will have that right now. In 8 seconds, they'll have that power play. So as you see, O'Connell will probably stay out there. Very clever shooter, and he's done a good job since he's been coming to Boston. He's, as you said, he played 82 games as if the season isn't long enough. He's got to play 2 extra games plus the playoffs.
He's a great example, too, Mike, of a young man who's paid his dues in the minor leagues, because he spent several years in the minors in the Chicago organization before he really got his opportunity, and when it came, he was ready. This is him. O'Connell brings it around behind the goal. Penalty about to expire. Marcotte now coming out. He heads right to the bench as Bork comes on. Power play as McNabb dumps it in. The Bruins with a man advantage. 1 minute in the Bruin power play. McNabb in the corner in the North Star zone. Out to O'Connell. This shot is batted out wide. Cashman tied up as he goes to the corner boards. Young pumps it out. Chasing it down. Mike O'Connell back at his own blue line. Pulls it out to Ray Bork. Nice move as McNabb will bring it up. McNabb has a goal in the game and 3 in the playoff series thus far. His drop pass, and Bork didn't get a stick down. Tim Young brings it up. He has a man trailing, and it is tapped away. Park will bring it out. Brad Park on bad knees. Rips away, and it's over the crossbar against the glass. O'Connell, he's checked off neatly by Anderson. Puck to the corner. McNabb wrestles his man all the way to the board. Bork moves it over to O'Connell, plenty of time, and it's turned out and off of the shoulder of the referee. Beaupre comes out to make the play and will face it off, and I think Bruce Hood might be stunned. He took that deflection on his shoulder, and that had to hurt.
Here's a look at it here, boy. I'll tell you, he doesn't even have any protection on. That's the worst part. Look at this. Beaupre deflects it. Well, we don't really see it hit Hood, but you see him flinch as it hit him in the shoulder there.
I'll tell you, that is not an easy job, friends.
Oh.
You know, the hockey players can change lines every 30 to 90 seconds. These guys are out there for the hour. Bruce Hood, generally regarded as one of the finest referees in the NHL, working the game here tonight. Out to Redmond from the point, save. Beaupre makes the play.
It's a thankless job, no question. There you look at the Beaupre getting up, making a nice save there. See, anytime a goaltender has time to see the shooter, have nobody in front of him, and especially from the point, most of the time that goalie's going to make that save.
Puck on the boards, picked up by O'Reilly. Poke checked away. Bruins still control. Jumps around behind the goal. O'Reilly plays it to the corner. Here at the point, Redmond through the screen. They had it set up beautifully, and Beaupre made a good play. Out at center ice, Redmond will pick it up. Boy, he's a magician with that hockey stick. O'Reilly over to Redmond. Ooh, the linesman is taken down on the check by Kristoff, and he's hurt. He is hurt. The linesman is hurt. That's Christensen. Jim Christensen, the linesman. Tell you, the officials are really taking a beating in this game.
The game's physical enough as it is, never mind having the poor officials get involved in it. And he got sandwiched right between the check by laid on Kristoff, and boy, I'll tell you, he had to do something with his ribs there. There's Kristoff coming into the play right there, and he hits Redmond. Watch this. Oh, he had to feel that because there's nothing, no give right there. The only thing was 2 players pushing against the referee, and the glass was behind him. He might have some bruised ribs or maybe some cracked ribs there. Let's hope it's not very serious.
Mike, as you know, the players are well equipped for that kind of a hit with hip pads and rib pads and elbow pads and the helmet and the gloves and so forth. And of course, that poor linesman has no pads whatsoever. So Christensen appears to be all right. Live from the Boston Garden, you're watching NHL playoff hockey on the USA Network. Foster and Kevin Maxwell for the face-off. Pulled back into the Boston zone. Bourque chasing it down. The teams at equal strength with Minnesota on top 4-3. 12:42 left to play. We're in the second period at Boston Garden. Hartsburg chasing it down for the North Stars. Pulls it out to the point. Parker's there to greet it. Shovels it down the wing. Cleared right back out by the North Stars. Good up and down hockey game. Both teams have been aggressive in their back checking. Although from an offensive point of view, there have been a lot of shots on goal in this game. It has been a shootout. Kevin Maxwell checked off the puck. Anderson brings it in, goes to the left wing lead. The shot is deflected high and wide. North Stars trying to keep it in. Foster gets it out. He's nailed by Brian Maxwell. Foster has it, but he knows the man is in. He can't bring it over the blue line. Jonathan pokes it in. Maxwell clears it out to Anderson. Brings it up, brings it in, and it's poked right back out. 2-on-2. Middleton for the shot, and the pad saved by Beaupre. Centering pass, North Stars bring it up. Potential 2-on-2. Run up and in by Bobby Smith. Makes the move, takes Jonathan out of the play. Poke checked off the play by Middleton from behind. North Stars clears, Barrett pumps it in. Vachon plays it for Milbury. Over on the wing to Middleton. Leading scorer on the Bruins during the regular season. Put back in the Boston zone. Milbury in the corner. Bobby Smith is there. Says, how do you do? McNabb up the left wing. Oh, he fans on the pass, then gets the shot. Gets taken down from behind. Play from behind the goal. Greg Smith clears it out, and it's out of the zone. The Bruins will have to clear. Redmond for McNabb. Looks down to O'Reilly. Backhander, no, he'll take it behind the goal all the way out to the point. There's the shot, batted out. Beaupre turns it aside and is ripped out of the zone the length of the rink. This will be an icing call against the North Stars with 10:42 left to play. We're in the second period, and the North Stars lead it by a goal, 4-3.
Well, it's sort of slowed down just a little in the last few shifts, Dick. Maybe each team is getting a little tired. The way the first few minutes of this, the first period and a half went, was pretty exciting. A lot of hitting, very physical. There's a look. Well, we can't get it on camera, but Mike Milbury going to the Bruins dressing room. We'll try to get a story on that and try to see what happened to Mike Milbury.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, a face-off in the North Star zone. They'll chase it down in the corner. Gordy Roberts, he's all down. Loose puck, Payne. He'll tie it up for a draw. 10:31 left to go, second period. You know, one thing you have to wonder about, if this goes up to Minnesota with the North Stars leading at 2-0, not only are the Bruins in the hole 2-0 going on the road, but they're going into a real ice pond up there. Oh. That's a big rink.
If they go in 2-0, I wouldn't think the chances would look too good for Boston, but you can't count them out. But right now they're still in this hockey game, but they can't afford to go up there and be down 2-0.
They have battled back. They were ahead 1-0, trailed 3-1, tied the game at 3 early in the second period. The North Stars went back up 4-3, and we're going to face it off again. Neither